Emmanuel means God with us. It's a way of saying something much larger than our unlimited human perceiving beings can know. It speaks to a depth of pain that lives within the world and of our inability to comfort. It speaks to the vastness of the dark and starry sky and our fledgling attempts at exploring this infinitesimal planet. It speaks to the fathoms of the human heart, which can hold so much love, but often seem cavernous and empty, with so much fullness yet to be found. We open our yearning hearts this night. We reach a hand towards one another. We light a candle against the darkness, and we believe with the fervor of a child that love will come and live in the darkened stable of our house.
Reverend Kirk Lodeman Copeland. We light candles in this season to push away the solstice darkness as we remember the promise of springtime. We light candles in this season to beckon the traveler homeward, that families and friends might gather together around the hearth or the table to celebrate traditions passed down across the generations. We light candles in this season to bear witness to the birth of a child born long ago who brought love, truth, light, and hope into the world. We light candles in this season to remind us that each night a child is born is a holy night. Please rise in spirit or body to say our covenant and remain standing for our opening hymn. We unite to strengthen the bonds of kinship among all persons, to promote human dignity, and to increase reverence for life's creating, sustaining, and transforming power through worship, study, and service. Now let us sing together our opening hymn, number 225, O come, Emmanuel.
Welcome this evening to this place of fellowship and peace. We're so glad you're here. My name is Pam Romancic. I serve as the minister in this vibrant church. Melanie Turkovic is our worship associate, and our readers are Reverend Scott Giles, Elijah Crostow, Reverend Karen Mooney, Ed Munson, Izzy Peckham, Leilani Smith, and Mari Van Meter. We are grateful for all of their help in creating our service today. And thanks also for our special musical guest, Charlie Vernon, and for our soloist, Chaz Rule. Also thanks to Allison for getting this wonderful group of folks ready to provide us with a beautiful musical evening. It takes a village to create a church, so thanks to everybody. Oh, our rushers and greeters too, thank you. Just to note, there will be no service tomorrow on Christmas Day, and Reverend Lindsay Bates will say farewell to the 2024 on December 29th, and there won't be any RE that day, religious education that day. The office will remain closed through January 2nd. Now, I invite you to just look around the people around you and turn to them and say, peace be with you this Christmas. Peace be with you this Christmas. On this exciting and beautiful night of light and song, let us be grateful for the gifts that we find right here, right now. I invite you to put your feet on the ground, to take a deep breath in. It's an exciting day. And let all that energy drain down. Let the excitement just rest around your heart. Be able to hold all the good things that might be coming in the next days. And also allow your heart to feel the peace that this season offers. May these moments of quiet lead us to the heart of the season, which is peace. Like the wandering couple, may we find that our greatest trials can sometimes issue forth our greatest joys. Like the harried innkeeper, may we find ways to be of help to others. Like the lumbering beast, may we be silent witnesses to the unfathomable glory of life. Like the shepherds up on the hill, may we know that we need never be afraid. And like the journeying wise, may we always have courage to follow our stars. Like the angels, may we cry out peace to a troubled world. Holy One, to these prayers for our own transformation, we add prayers for all those who suffer and grieve this evening. We send love to the parents of Jack Van Orden who are recovering from COVID. And remember all those facing uncertainty in the coming year and ask for peace. May they find comfort. We add our prayers for all those involved in war. May they be safe. And may this season of peace and goodwill nudge our world towards its ideals, for then will Christmas truly dawn. Amen.
Now is the moment of magic, when the whole round earth turns again toward the sun. And here's a blessing. The days will be longer and brighter now, even before the winter settles in to chill us. Now is the moment of magic, when people, beaten and down and broken, with nothing left but misery and candles and their own clear voices, kindle tiny lights and whisper secret music. And here's a blessing. The dark universe is suddenly illuminated by the lights of the menorah, suddenly ablaze with the lights of the Kinra. And the whole world is glad and loud with winter singing. Now is the moment of magic, when an eastern star beckons the ignorant toward an unknown goal. And here is a blessing. They find nothing in the inn but an ordinary baby, born at midnight, born in poverty, and the baby's cry, like bells ringing, makes people wonder as they wander through their lives what human love really looks like, sounds like, feels like. Now is the moment of magic. And here's a blessing. We already possess all the gifts we need. We've already received our presents. Eyes to hear music, or ears to hear music, eyes to behold lights, hands to build a true peace on earth, and to hold each other tight in love. Lessons 3, please join us in singing our hymn number 253, O Come All Ye Faithful.
O come, all ye faithful, joyful from the Gospels of Luke and Matthew. There went out a decree from Caesar Augustus that all should go to the cities of their birth to be counted and taxed. Joseph and Mary, his espoused wife, who was great with child, went up from Galilee out of the city of Nazareth into the city of David, which was called Bethlehem. So it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should give birth. And she brought forth her firstborn son, wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. There were in the same country shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flocks. And the angel of the God came to them and said, Behold, I bring you good tidings of great joy, which shall be for all people. For unto you is born this day a Savior. Suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host, saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to all goodwill. The shepherds went with great haste to see what had come to pass. They found Mary and Joseph, and with them the babe lying in the manger. When they had seen it, they made it known to all, and praised God for what they had heard and seen. There also came 3 strangers from the east, who had heard of the birth of the child. A star went before them, till it came and shone over the young child. When they saw the child, they fell down and wondered at him. And they opened their treasures and presented him with gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And Mary, the mother, saw all that had happened and pondered it in her heart. Thus ends the reading.
She was 5. She was really sure of all the facts and recited them with slow, solemn solemnity, convinced of every word, that every word was a revelation. And she said, they were so poor that they only had peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to eat. And they went so long away from home that they got lost, and the lady rode a donkey, and the man walked, and the baby was inside the lady. They had to stay in a stable with an ox and an ass. But the 3 wise men found them because the star lit up the roof, and shepherds came and could pet the sheep but not feed them. The baby was born, and do you know who he was? Her eyes lit up like silver dollars. The baby was God! Oh, and she jumped in the air, and she whirled around, and she dove into the sofa and buried her head under all of the cushions, because that is the proper response when it's the good news of the incarnation. Thank you very much. That is the end of this reading.
Please join in singing number 231, Angels We Have Heard on High.
Strength. first true gift of love he ever gave to his father at Christmas.
He wished that Christmas when he was 15 that he had a better present for his father. As usual, he had gone to the 10-cent and bought a tie. It seemed nice enough until he lay thinking about it the night before Christmas. He looked out the attic window, the stars were bright.
Dad, he had once asked when he was a little boy, what is a stable?
It's just a barn, his father replied, like ours.
That Jesus had been born in a barn, and to a barn the shepherds had come?
The thought struck him like a silver dagger. Why should he not give his father a special gift too, out there in the barn? He could get up really early, earlier than 4 o'clock, and he could creep into the barn and get all the milking done. He'd do it alone, milk and clean up, and then when his father went to start milking, he would see it all done. And he would know who had done it. He laughed to himself as he gazed at the stars. It was what he would do. He mustn't sleep too sound.
At 2:45, he got up and put on his clothes. He crept downstairs, careful of the creaky boards, and let himself out. The cows looked at him, sleepy and surprised. It was early for them, too. He had never milked all alone before, but it seemed almost easy. He kept thinking about his father's purpose. His father would come in and get him, saying he would get things started while Rob was getting dressed. He'd go to the barn, open the door, and then he'd get the 2 big empty milk cans. But they wouldn't be waiting or empty. They'd be standing in the milk house filled.
What the? He could hear his father exclaiming.
He smiled and milked steadily, 2 strong streams rushing into the pail, frothing and fragrant. Back in his room, he only had a minute to pull off his clothes in the darkness and jump into bed, for he heard his father up. He put the covers over his head to silence his quick breathing. The door opened.
Rob, his father called. We have to get up, son, even if it is Christmas.
All right, he said sleepily. The door closed and he lay still, laughing to himself. In just a few minutes, his father would know. His dancing heart was ready to jump from his body.
Rob!
Yes, Dad? His father was laughing, a queer sobering sort of laugh.
Thought you'd fool me, did you? His father was standing by his bed, feeling for him, pulling away the cover.
It's for Christmas, Dad. He found his father and clutched him in a great hug. He felt his father's arms go around him. It was dark, and they could not see each other's faces.
Son, I thank you. Nobody ever did a nicer thing.
He did not know what to say. His heart was bursting with love. He got up and pulled on his clothes again, and they went down on the Christmas tree. Oh, what a Christmas, and how his heart had nearly burst again with shyness and pride as his father told his mother and made the younger children listen about how he, Rob, had got up all by himself.
The best Christmas gift I ever had, and I'll remember it, son, every year on Christmas morning as long as I live.
They had both remembered it, and now that his father was dead, he remembered it alone. That blessed Christmas dawn, when with the cows in the barn, he had made his first gift of true love. Thus ends the reading.
Thank you. Some of my favorite stories. When you're in your families, do you notice when kids hit an age when they suddenly figure out that they can give presents back to their parents? I remember I was a little girl and I had a paper route, and I had my mom take me to the store because I was going to buy all these great presents for my family. And I figured out my like $15 wasn't going to go very far. But it's a big part of life when we remember, or when we realize that we can give back to people, and how that giving back kind of makes our heart swell 2 sizes, grow 2 sizes. Out of our abundance and awareness, we share our own gifts and our talents in the work of this congregation. Reverend Howard Thurman put it very eloquently. He said, "I place these gifts on my altar at Christmas. Gifts that are mine as the years are mine. The quiet hopes that flood the earnest cargo of my dreams, the best of all good things I love. A fresh new trust for all those whose faith is dim. The love of life, God's precious gift, in the reach of all, seeing each day as the seed of tomorrow. Finding in each struggle the strength of renewal, and seeking in each person the face of my brother. I place these gifts on my altar this Christmas, gifts that are mine as the years are mine." Our Christmas offering replenishes the minister's discretionary fund, which we use to support those in our midst who have hit a rough patch. If you have the means to be generous, we thank you. If you need some support, please do let us know. Our offering will now be gratefully received. Tonight's one of those nights where we think about people sitting out under the stars, under a vast sky, and watching them whirl across and feeling utterly insignificant. Have you ever done that? Have you ever laid out on the grass far away from the city lights where you can see millions, who knows, maybe billions of stars, just so many stars up there, and you just realize how tiny we are, how little we are in this vast, vast universe, and how much we don't know that we don't know. In that place, feeling their tininess, our ancestors told a story about God. They told a story about this mystery and wonder in which everything existed, about how this thing that we cannot possibly understand came down to earth and was born and made flesh and the body of a tiny baby. Back then, a baby was something totally without value. I mean, a baby was, well, if they grew up to made it to be a child, they might be worthwhile. But as a baby that tells people what to do isn't quite as alive in our imaginations as it used to be. So today when we think of God, I think of for myself something beyond all imagining. Something beyond the finite limits of my brain, my human body. I think of something that I can't even begin to ponder. Because God can't be any smaller than that. Because God is that which we live and breathe and have our being. God is beyond. And so we try to tell stories about that mystery and that wonder, those universal patterns, those constellations, the laws of physics. And we try really hard to make sense of all of it, wherever we are. However we are alive in this world, we try to make that which is beyond make sense in these tiny, finite human bodies. It's still hard to do, isn't it? We know so much about the world. We know so much about science. We know so much about interpersonal relationships. And yet, there is this beyondness that we exist within. So out of that understanding of beyond, what is the message from the stable from 2,000 years ago that can speak to our hearts in 2024? One thing we can say is the deeper story is actually true. That human beings may not be this magical creation of a human like God, that we are made of the dust of stars that exploded eons ago. That we are the product of an evolutionary process that took millions of years to become who and what we are today. That we are the universe, incarnate, grown up from the earth, evolving a consciousness that has an ability to look back upon itself in wonder and amazement. Human beings are the universe. We are the eyes and the ears. We are the heart of the universe, looking back and feeling that fullness, that awe, that amazement. All human beings. It doesn't matter if you're a king or the poorest child. Your connection to this amazing reality is indisputable. No one can take it away from you. No one can take away your ability to connect, to laugh, to love, to share, to enjoy while we're here. It's a short time. It goes by really fast. But we have the ability to grab it while we're here. We have the ability to live within this mysterious, amazing aliveness and smile. Because the real and lasting blessings of being human, no matter who you are, no matter where you were born, is that you belong and you matter. We forget this, of course. We get caught up in all the hierarchies, the false stories of wealth and power, domination and oppression. But that existed back in Jesus' day. They knew it. It was going on. But we have to let go of all that. We have to remember and believe ourselves, and never believe ourselves less than because it makes somebody else feel better about themselves. Because that is never the deepest truth of life. The truth of Christmas, the reality that comes through us across the centuries from a humble stable in Bethlehem, is that each and every one of us is a unique and amazing expression of a wondrous God, a wondrous universe, a wondrous beyond. We each have our own experience, our own understandings, our own perspectives. We have our unique DNAs, our fingerprints, our retinal patterns. They are only us, nobody else. We see and feel and love and share this experience with the people around us, and I think that's why we're here. We're not here to gather up piles of riches that we're going to leave when we die. We're not gathered here to be the best at anything. We're just here to look back at the world, look back at the universe, look back at those stars, and go, wow. Because those things which bring the most joy to the human heart have nothing to do with the principalities and powers tell us are true. What brings us joy, what fills our hearts, what connects us to our deepest and truest self, is looking around and seeing that universe that we carry within us reflected in the people all around us. Remembering that we may be tiny, and we are also vast, because we are also that uncountable stars of the universe. So you know what? Yes, angel choirs should be singing. Shepherds should stop watching their flocks. We should stop and tell this story every single year so that we remember our own miraculous incarnations and celebrate our unmeasurable worth. And celebrate the immeasurable worth of every single person around us. It's a both and. It's an amazing way to remember who we are. So we celebrate at Christmas. We celebrate with the generosity of our hearts. We celebrate with giving gifts. We celebrate with singing. We celebrate with laughter. And out of our abundance, we know that we are both amazing gifts and that we are blessed more than we can possibly imagine. Each year we listen to the story of the stable to remember the deepest truth of our being. We hold all that we need within our sacred bodies, and the star shining in the sky calls us to bless this world with our love. May it be so for you and yours tonight. Merry Christmas.
In Bethlehem a manger waits, long ago and so today, where hatred weary people pray, love will come and lay there, and so do countless stables stand, in hearts as harsh as desert lands, rough shelters in the winds and sand, so love will come and lay there. Love that opens fists of hate, heaps of gold on beggars' plates, love that shows a kindly face to enemies and strangers. love will find its way.
In Whom Shall We Be Reborn? By Alex Klingenberg. Sorry if I misspelled that. We come together tonight to remember the history, or the myth, that says hope was born in the form of a baby named Jesus. What is so compelling about the story of Jesus' birth, his life, his love? What is so... Why has this story reached across the ages to us while so many others have faded into history? Jesus embodies the best of what humanity can be: compassionate, humble, brave, and mortal. Jesus asks us to make the most of our life, to create joy, and where there is pain, to care for the poor and question the powerful, and perhaps most importantly, to question the purpose of our own lives. What will we leave in our wake? In whom will we be reborn? What light can we bring in the darkness? Tonight, on the eve of Christmas, we contemplate the significance that one person can have and revel in the joy of possibilities. Thus ends the reading.
This is Christmas Eve by Kathleen McTeague. All these centuries after the star, the wise men, the baby born in the stable, and the angels singing him in with their mysterious alleluias, we are lost and wandering still. We stumble at every step over our own greed or need, our ignorance or fear. Bethlehem is not a gentle city tonight. Its people are wise in the ways of the clenched fist, the broken truce. Marked like them with the scars of ignorance and sorrow, we come to Christmas baffled as any shepherd by the music that sounds so high above us, the syntax foreign to our skeptical hearts. Yet we try to speak the language of hope, lifting ourselves toward the future with the dream of what may yet be. We remember that the heart of Christmas is hope. Hope that a child born homeless and in danger may grow up to be wise and kind. That the stars, serene in their darkness, have something to teach. That there are mysteries around us, among us, singing ethereal harmonies. New hope in ourselves rises then too. That we will learn one day, and in the nick of time, how to walk our paths with truth and justice. How to bring peace to this life on earth, how to sing for ourselves the angels' songs of praise, wonder, and joy. Thus ends the reading.
Thank you so much. As we come to the close of our time together tonight, we remember more words from Howard Thurman, who calls us to keep the tidings of Christmas long after beauty of the day has passed. When the song of the angels is stilled, when the star is good from the sky is gone, when the kings and princes are home and the shepherds are back with their flock, the work of Christmas begins. To find the lost, to heal the broken, to feed the hungry, to release the prisoner, to rebuild the nations, to bring peace among the people, and to make music in the heart. This is the true work of creating peace on earth, goodwill to all. Goodwill to all. This is the light which is promised. This is the light which is promised. This is the hope of this season of joy. We are keepers of this light, we and all our relations throughout the great world. Our folks will carry their lighted candles, hold a lit candle upright, and tip your unlit candle to take the light for you. Please lower the lights as we begin. We're going to be singing Silent Night together. As willing bearers of life's warm light in a cold, dark, and fear-filled world, and the world will be less cold, less dark, and less afraid. Please join in singing Silent Night as the candles are lit. Tonight in this community we have shared stories, sung carols, and opened our hearts to the beauty of music. Tonight we have turned to one another, lighting each other's candles in the dark. Tonight we have dared to hear a message of hope spoken once again against the challenge of the world. It is time now to depart, to go forward, to live our lives to the world. May joy be your companion, whether you are with others or alone. May love be your strength, and may the gift of community dwell in your heart. For here in this place, whenever you choose, whenever you need. You can extinguish your candles, and I invite you to all stand up, and we'll sing Joy to the World.